Greetings everyone, I'm Record the Second, and welcome back to Mary's Arcade. Now there are many elephants in the room right now, and I will address them all one by one. Starting with yes, I beat the game on my own off screen. I know that is stupid, but sometimes I kinda just do that. I wanted to go back into the game and finish it. I was just wanting to try these challenges, and I know previously that I said, oh, I don't want to make a million videos on this game, I don't know if I'm gonna do them. But actually I've been playing through the original FNaF games. More recently I've finished FNaF 4, I finished that game 100%. I got all the stars, beat all the challenges, and it really gave me a larger appreciation for these kind of challenges, and I've proven myself capable, I think, at least to be some of them. But for this game, yes, I've beaten everything, but I will show you, don't worry about it. I will do it again. The reason why I wanted to play them on my own is I wanted to try how difficult they were, especially because I was really rusty. But I kind of rewatched my series and I have a newer perspective on things. And I'm sorry that it's been so long since the last video. You know, things just kind of happen in life. It's almost a meme on my channel that I'm doing FNaF content like this because often it's coming back to the channel for a while and then it's gone again for a while, and it just kind of happens like that. It's not really on purpose, it's more because, well, these games are more challenging to make videos about, you know what I'm saying? It's also not really my creative project, which is most of my Minecraft videos are my projects, things I'm making as a hobby. It's not the same as making a video on playing a game. It's a little different, it's more creative, so it's more interesting to me to do that stuff than this. Let's beat 3 challenges in this episode, and I'm gonna devote the other episode to the remaining one challenge, the 610 mode, and to the minigame. As you can see, I've done all of that stuff. Actually, I'm going to censor these badges. Sorry, pins, whatever the fuck they're called. And I know this game has been out for ages, but whatever. Hey, it's kind of a good parallel, you know. I'm making myself do something that's not necessary. Replaying these challenges again. Most of these aren't really not that bad. What I recommend you to do is just play through them. Unfortunately, it doesn't let you turn on your radar for some reason. And for example, if you want to practice for 610 mode, there's some kind of hard-coded thing, like the characters are in different starting positions. It's just all off, so unfortunately the only way to practice is really without the radar. However, what you can do is use radar on, I don't know, set everyone to 0, and then, for example, if you want to test out this character, that's kind of what I did in preparation for 610. For now, let's do these easier ones. Grow the batteries. So basically, in this night, it's kind of a medium type night, but just with quickly draining batteries. That being the lights outside, of course, the windows in the office. So let's get it done. So since OBS was acting weird and wasn't recording properly, it was cutting off the video and stuff like that, I didn't really bother to record my voice for these modes. Instead, I decided to do something that Markiplier did in his Sister Location Golden Freddy mode video. Do a voiceover over the attempt, and I'm kind of explaining why I did certain things. And if you really want me to, sure, I can upload these modes as a silent win, because I do have that. If you really want me to, I can upload that as a separate video. Ask me, alright, and I'll make it happen. What's happening here is that the game really is trying to trick you, and actually it's a lot of these modes are like this. You need to kind of let them get really close, and then you'll buzz them both. I've really tried my best to do the other thing, which would make more sense, would be smarter. Actually, there's a hard-coded thing in this challenge. If you buzz him first, which makes sense, right? She's gonna come in, he's not gonna be coming in through the PA system, and you're gonna have way more time for him to come. But for some reason, the developer hard-coded this, and now he comes in really early anyways. So basically the game is forcing you to play a specific way, which is, I don't really like that in this game mode, but sure, whatever. So as you can see here, I'm not doing very good, but really that's the only way to be denied that I've figured out, and it works, because, you know, this is the winning run. Obviously it's gonna work for some reason. It may not make a lot of sense, but you can use your buzzer and basically, you know, you stun them. These challenges have some hard-coded features, like where characters begin certain behaviors like that. You just completely destroy specific strategy just because, game is hey, you're not playing this right. I don't really like it specifically for this one. I didn't notice anything else like that in the other challenges that's fucking me over, even though I should be doing everything correctly. He literally skipped 2 rooms to go in front of me just to forced me to play it differently. This one surprisingly took me more than I expected, more tries. Less than 10 for sure, but maybe around 5, even more. Which is weird because first it took me 2 tries, and that was after I came back to this game, after more than a year. As I mentioned before, don't remember when, but people on the server told me that it's actually really good to stun both of them if possible. In this challenge specifically, it's not really that big of a deal to do that, but in some other ones, it's absolutely crucial to find a time where they are both in there, and they will actually, it's like Murphy's Law, they will run really quick, so you gotta catch them super close. As you can see right here, I'm trying to do that, and I was successful. If I didn't do that, I might have not won this one. Scratch what I said earlier. This is one of the modes where you really need to focus on that. It's not very interesting, to be honest. You're just kind of sitting in the office for most of it and listening to the sounds. What I recommend you do if you're playing this yourself, set a certain character to 10, put on the radar, and then you'll be able to tell what the sounds mean, because all the sounds mean something. I never really paid attention to the quick step sounds or the slow clanking sounds or the kitchen sounds when I played this before. And really, these don't do that much for you. But you can tell, okay, this character probably moved. Or you can tell, okay, one of them moved. So let me check which one it was. And specifically for Scarlet, you can tell when she moves. There is a benefit to winding her all the way back to cam 2, because it'll take longer for her to then switch the sides and then come closer to you. Of course, that's really not much of a variable in aggressive Scarlet mode, but that's for the next video for me to talk about. As you can see here, I'm trying my absolute best because I have no lights. Without the lights, this mode really isn't beatable. You just have to do that at the end of the night. And you can luck out, of course. It's 5 AM and you can just kind of hope that Mary does RNG for you when she's knocked out the power, she's doing the whole Freddy thing. And actually, surprisingly, I found out that Rascal also does that, but his is more like Ennard from Sister Location, not like Freddy in FNaF 1, so it's not forgiving at all. He's gonna kill you really fast. It is an option, technically, to try to lock out, even though obviously you're not gonna do that on purpose, but you can like cross your fingers and hope that it works. I would say this is one of the more challenging ones, but overall really not that hard. And I'm not really sure what else to add. I'm here at 6 AM and I'm gonna be coming back to comment on the rest of these, obviously. I'm pretty sure the next one I'm doing is going to be the slow recharge challenge, which sounds really bad, but it really isn't that bad. Also, a couple things I forgot to mention in the previous voiceover. I picked something up from me playing the previous game by this developer, Night Shift of Freddy's Rebooted, which you can also watch on my channel if you feel like it. I don't really recommend the older episodes because they're really cringe, but the couple last ones I really like because it was more modern, and I beat the hardest challenge in that game as well. I might be one of the few people on this fucking planet who did that, but I did it anyways. Basically, what I picked up is that the way he codes his games, maybe that's not really a pattern, but you don't really have to immediately go and do something specific. As you can see here, I'm waiting for Scarlet for a little bit. I gave her like 5 seconds or so, and only one time I waited for too long and eventually she killed me in one of these modes. But overall, it's a sound strategy because the game isn't stupid. Obviously, if you look for way too long, it's gonna kill you, but it's not going to like immediately, bam, you're gonna be dead. It really helps you prolong like the periods of time where you have your laptop down and you're having that stare down with one of the characters at the windows. And another thing I wanted to mention is that I'm not really going to be showing you any losing runs in this, because I don't feel like there's much point to it. I mean, this video is already going to be like 20 minutes long, because there's 3 challenges, which the night is about 6 minutes in this game, I'm pretty sure. And on top of that, I'm just blabbing my mouth at the beginning and the end of the video, so obviously it's got to be a long video. And I don't like making too long videos, yeah. Very good English, because I feel like people are gonna be less inclined to watch a really long video. Plus, it's gonna be take longer to edit and render. Like I said, I didn't want to make like 10 more episodes for every single challenge in this game, because then we have 4 episodes of just challenges plus 6 stand plus the minigame. That'll be 6 more episodes of this. That's a bit too many, and maybe I could have done 3 episodes, but I decided to do 2 because this is about, like I said, 20 minutes. The next one's gonna be also about that time because we do 2 nights plus the minigame. I think this is gonna be a good way to make the series go. And I'm sorry that I'm not really commenting much over the game itself. I don't know what else really to explain about it. You just have to kind of listen to the characters and the sounds, and you're gonna recognize that it's really an exchange of kind of like an original FNaF, that you have to sacrifice information for a little bit of energy. For example, in this case, it's a bit more, the nights are faster. You're gonna be much better off just sitting in the office doing nothing, kind of listening. Most of the time it's not worth it checking in on like Scarlet and making sure she doesn't get close to you. Although, like I said, there is a benefit to having her go all the way to her starting position, but it's gonna be fine most of the time. Such as like doing what I'm doing in these videos, just sitting there and waiting. That's really the best you can do, because if you don't do that, you have a very low chance to survive till the end of the night, because the lights are going down and all that stuff. In this challenge in particular, it's pretty actually easy. The thing is, you gotta be a bit more forward thinking. So before, what I would do usually is I would be like, okay, this character's coming up, I gotta buzz them. But really what you should be thinking is, it's gonna be a bit of a standoff when I'm shining the lights in their eyes a little bit, and I'm gonna have enough time to do that and survive it, to then use the PA system on them. Or maybe, you know, by the time they get to the office, it's almost going to be charged. So in most cases, you should just buzz the other character instead. It'll make more sense if you play this yourself. I know it doesn't sound very logical when I explain it like this, but trust me, it works, and that's basically what I'm doing. Even though I see one character is coming out closer to me, I see that the PA system is recharging, and it's pretty close. Like, it's not exactly ready, it's not gonna be ready by the time the character gets here, but I realized that, okay, the game has given me enough time to survive this, which means I gotta buzz the other character, and this happened to me so many times. And I know I'm kind of playing with fire here, but the game is really forgiving really when you like look at Scarlet, when you look back at the laptop. Obviously, it's not always gonna let you go like that, and oftentimes I've died doing these kind of strategies, but it's more down to bad luck, or I didn't buzz them enough, or something else. As you can see, this works out for me pretty well, and I recommend doing those strategies too. This one is probably the second easiest. But anyways, let's move on to the loose connection one, and this one is definitely the easiest in my opinion, because your recharge is fine, your lights are fine, Scarlet isn't aggressive. All you need to do a little bit of a better job at keeping tabs on where they are, and you just kind of gotta keep that in your head, because all their movement patterns are very predictable. They're on the same loop all the time, so if you know that he's in that camera, you know where he's going to be going next. Another thing is that, of course, in some of these challenges, you have to kind of wait for one of them to appear and then use the PA system on them, and then later you gotta buzz both of the characters that are gonna be in that room. That's kind of some of these challenges start. What you need to do is you need to make sure that you're not wasting any time. Like, obviously the PA system, you shouldn't be wasting it on like luring a character closer to you. That's stupid. I tried that once thinking, hey, we have the PA system ready, like maybe there is a benefit to. No, it's there. It's not worth it. Trust me. The buzzer is available right away. Just think about, okay, this character's coming up closer to me. It's fine because I have the PA already. You know, it's already charged. So what I should do is buzz the other character instead. And because you used the buzzer earlier, you'll get it recharged earlier. So this all just really makes sense. It does make a lot of sense if you play this yourself. So really, this one is super easy. It's not much of a struggle at all. It's a lot like chess. You gotta like think 5 steps ahead. Honestly, a lot of it is from trial and error, because these nights you're pretty much doing the same pattern. There's very little variability outside of 610. Basically, you do the same things. Okay, first we're gonna buzz him, then he's gotta come in, then we gotta use the PA, then we're gonna have a little bit of standoff with the lights, blah blah blah. So it's very predictable in that way. You'll just find a specific strategy. Anyone can, I guess, just make a Google Doc and be like, okay, so first at 2 a.m. you do this, and then next time you do that. That'll be a solid way to beat the challenges. It's not gonna be like 100% proof, but it's pretty much going to work because it's, you know, the game is developed that way. It's very much a strategy game, but it's not super dynamic. In these specific challenges, like I said, things are hard-coded, like the starting positions and some other things. So overall, there's a very set path of like, okay, I need to do this, and then I need to do that, and afterwards I need to do this. Sometimes you mess up, you gotta like restart the night, because basically at that point you're fucked. In my experiences, I've done this already twice, like I beat these challenges twice. It makes the game lose a bit of replay value. Obviously these challenges themselves are much replay value, but what I'm trying to say is, if you're gonna be like, oh, I wanna beat this again, like sometimes you would do that with FNaF games. I beat Aggressive Nightmare Mode. As much as I hate it, for some reason I beat it like 4 or 5 times, because no run is going to be the exact same. There's a lot of randomness in this game. Obviously there's a little bit of it, but really not that much. These challenges kind of like a one-time thing. You're gonna beat them once, and that's really all you're gonna get out of this game, which is fine. I'm just wanting to comment on it to point this out. Overall, there's really not much left to say about what's going on here. So the reason I decided to do next episode, what I'm going to do next episode, is because there's only really 3 things left to do, that being the next challenge and the 610, which is way easier than I expected. I'm surprised it was that easy. I did rewatch my playthrough, and one thing I noticed about the minigame is that there's a specific thing that happens near the end. Also, I looked it up just to be like sure that I'm on the right track, and pretty sure the level that I got stuck on is the last level that you need to do. So I'm very relieved about that. There's not 2 more levels. It's actually just smooth sailing from that point. You just gotta get that level right, which is kind of difficult, but it's really not that bad. And then you can get the minigame ending. But I'm not going to spoil what it is, obviously, until the next video. But it is interesting. It is interesting. It's a little bit different, doesn't really explain much lore, but it is interesting. And that's pretty much the end of this video. I beat all these challenges, so next time we're doing Aggressive Scarlet, this might shock you, but I find Aggressive Scarlet to be more difficult than 610. Not only because it took me way more tries to beat. A lot of it is up to luck, honestly. You'll see what I mean when we get to the next episode. But trust me, that shit sucks. Get ready to see me go through that pain again. Although I beat this twice already, I'm pretty sure. And obviously there's gonna be this update that's planned, and I've asked the developer when that's gonna happen. Because he said Mary's 2 is gonna come out before that. I don't know why he decided that, but whatever. But if his plans change, I'm not really sure. I'm not gonna give you closing thoughts because there's gonna be one more episode, so there's really no point. But overall, I do like this game, and I like these challenges. Although they're not infinitely replayable, they do add a lot. I would recommend you try these. I don't know what else to say. Just don't forget to smash subscribe, ring my bell, and as always, stay